You know that awful clicking sound on hardwood floors? Well, I tried clipping my golden retriever's paws last month and accidentally nicked his pad. The blood, the yelping, the absolute guilt, it was a nightmare. Finding a trimmer that does not sound like a lawnmower or feel like a cheap toy is surprisingly frustrating. But I've spent the last few weeks testing the top contenders so you don't have to make the same mistake. Stick around because the #1 spot is a total game changer that actually makes grooming genuinely relaxing. Oneisall Dog Paw Trimmer.
Let's talk about the oneisall Dog Paw Trimmer. I mean, when I first pulled this out of the box, it looked promising enough. It has this sleek cordless design that feels okay in the hand, and I was genuinely excited to test it on my dog's overgrown paw pads. You know, you expect a brand like this to deliver a solid baseline, and for the most part, it does turn on and cut hair. The blade itself is decent for quick touch-ups. It features a narrow head, which is specifically meant for getting between those tricky little toe pads without taking off too much fur at once. When I tried it on my neighbor's poodle, it managed to clear out the light fluff pretty easily. But, well, here is where things get a bit frustrating. The motor just does not have the torque you really need for thicker coats. Let me explain. If your dog has dense or wiry hair between their toes, this trimmer kind of chokes up. I found myself having to go over the same spot 3 or 4 times. As you can guess, that makes the dog incredibly restless. And then there's the noise. It claims to be a low-noise device, but honestly, it has this high-pitched whine that immediately put my golden retriever on edge. It's not deafening, but that specific frequency is just annoying enough to make a skittish dog pull their paw away constantly. It turns a quick grooming session into a wrestling match. The oneisall is just okay if you have a small dog with very fine hair and you're on a strict budget. But if you want a smooth experience for a larger breed or a dog with thick fur, this one is probably going to test your patience. It's a classic case of getting exactly what you pay for. 5. Furry Touch Dog Paw Trimmer. Now, I really wanted to love this one. The marketing makes it look like the ultimate tool for anxious pets. When I first charged it up, the build quality felt noticeably heavier and more substantial than the oneisall. It sits nicely in your palm, giving you a good sense of control. The standout feature here is supposed to be the gentle ceramic blade. In theory, ceramic stays cooler than stainless steel. This is great because you absolutely do not want to burn your dog's delicate foot pads. I tested it after a long walk, and sure enough, the blade stayed relatively cool to the touch even after a solid 10 minutes of continuous running. But here is the catch. The battery life is surprisingly unpredictable. During my second testing session, it just died on me halfway through the front left paw. There was no real warning light that gave me enough time to wrap up. Having a half-groomed dog while you wait hours for a recharge is, quite frankly, super annoying. Also, you know how some trimmers just glide? This one tends to snag if you are not holding it at the absolute perfect angle. If your hand slips even a fraction of an inch, it pulls the hair instead of cutting it. My dog literally gave me the ultimate side-eye when that happened. It demands a level of precision that just isn't practical when your dog is wiggling around. 4. Mcbazel Pet Micro Precision Trimmer. Now we are starting to get into the good stuff. I mean, the moment I turned this on, the difference in quality was immediately obvious. It operates at under 50 decibels, and you can actually hear the difference. It is more of a low hum rather than an angry buzz, which instantly put my dog at ease. Here is what matters most about this specific model: the built-in LED light. Honestly, I did not think I needed a headlamp on a dog trimmer, but let me explain. When you're digging into the dark crevices of a paw pad, that little LED light illuminates everything. You can see exactly where the skin ends and the hair begins, which completely removes the fear of accidentally nicking them. Another huge win is the waterproof design. You can literally use this thing in the shower if you want to. I tested this by doing a quick trim right after a muddy walk while I was washing his paws in the tub. Being able to just run the whole unit under the faucet to clean out the trapped hair is incredibly satisfying and saves so much cleanup time. The blade on this one is a narrow stainless steel edge, which is perfectly sized for small, delicate areas. It cuts cleanly through medium-density hair without stalling.
3. Furbona Upgraded Dog Paw Trimmer. Well, if you like smart gadgets, you are going to appreciate this one. It comes with this really sleek, intuitive LED display right on the handle. It tells you exactly how much battery you have left, which completely solves the random shutoff anxiety I experienced with earlier models. The coolest part about the Furbona is the upgraded 18mm widened blade. Most micro trimmers are super tiny, which is fine, but it takes forever to groom a larger dog. This wider blade covers more ground while still being small enough to maneuver between the toes safely. I tested it on a thick-coated husky mix, and it practically melted through the fur. And you know, safety is paramount here. The ceramic and stainless steel blades have these specifically rounded edges. I literally pressed it against the back of my own hand while it was running just to test it out, and there was zero scratching or irritation. That gave me so much confidence when using it around my dog's sensitive face and rump. It runs at an ultra-quiet 35 decibels. I did not think 35 decibels was physically possible for a motor this strong, but it is virtually a whisper. 2. Papmini Paw Trimmer. I mean, wow! The sheer power this little device packs is seriously impressive. While a lot of trimmers struggle with heavy, matted coats, the Papmini glides through thick hair like a hot knife through butter. I was genuinely shocked the first time I used it. Here's what matters with the Papmini. It is all about endurance and consistency. It comes equipped with a hefty battery specifically for the micro trimmer, which means it lasts basically forever on a single charge. I went through 3 full grooming sessions on different dogs, and the battery indicator barely dropped. It is an absolute powerhouse. The motor runs at a blazing 6,500 RPM, but somehow they manage to keep the noise level incredibly low. You get all that cutting speed without the terrifying roar. When I tested it on some stubborn, mud-caked fur between the paw pads, it did not snag or pull once. It just effortlessly cleared the area in a single pass. You know, another thing that really stands out is the high-brightness LED light. It's noticeably brighter than the competitors. Generic Dog Paw Trimmer. Now, do not let the basic name fool you, because this trimmer is an absolute masterpiece of grooming engineering. After testing so many different devices, picking this one up felt like driving a luxury car. It just gets everything flawlessly right. Let me explain why this one wins. It perfectly balances weight, power, and near-silent operation. The motor is engineered with advanced dampening technology because the vibration is almost non-existent. My dog, who usually flinches at the mere sight of clippers, barely even registered that I was holding anything against his paw. It is truly that smooth. The blade geometry on this unit is simply next level. It features a hyper-precision titanium blade that somehow stays completely cool no matter how long you leave it running. I systematically went through every single paw, taking my time to sculpt the fur perfectly, and the blade never got warmer than room temperature. That is incredible peace of mind. You know, what really sealed the deal for me was the ergonomic grip. It has this subtle, contoured, non-slip coating that fits your hand so naturally. When your dog makes that inevitable sudden jerk to look at a squirrel, you do not lose your grip or accidentally make a bald spot. You have absolute, total control over every micro movement. Outro. That's all for today, folks.